Tico, I see you wearing the Man City jersey. Is that in support of the bottlers?
Yeah, I got this through. Didn't buy this. It was those mystery boxes.
Oh.
So I still have the tag on, so I could maybe gift it to someone, or we'll see. But I felt it's not proper to wear this today.
It really, truly.
Who would you gift it to?
Your brother?
Yes.
I literally don't know anyone who's a Man City fan.
Because there are no Man City fans.
Well, there's the Gallagher brothers from Oasis.
Yeah. And I also remember like a few years ago where I forget what World Cup it was or Olympics where like North Korea was there and they had like paid actors in the stands.
Yes.
Oh,
you remember
really?
that? It was like a whole thing. They had paid actors pretending to be fans in the stands. And I kind of feel like that's how the whole Man City Stadium is. Like they just have paid actors to fill out all the seats and cheer.
Could be. I agree with you. I don't know any Man City fans.
But it's also one of those things where like someone tells you, like, even if they're like a fan, they're like, oh, we won like I don't know how many EPLs in a row. We won this many trophies. Yeah, you're still Man City. Like, who cares? Literally, no one cares.
It's funny,
and especially with all those like fines and everything they have, all investigations. They're like, hey, like, put a huge asterisk next to it.
We sort of care.
I care less about that. I just feel like anyone who's a Man City fan that I see in the United States is like, oh, cool, you started watching soccer in the last like 2 years or like 3 years. You know what I mean? It's like you're like new to you're new here, you know. But oh well, that's which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I remember my
that's
first
how I feel about Chelsea fans.
Yeah, but I've been a fan for 25 years.
Have you been a fan for 25 years? So how old are you when you became a fan? So
well, I think I got a jersey. So I think I've told you the story, but my mom is the guy who comes for massage, and the guy came and so I'll count that. So that was like probably like 10, and I'm like 36. So
yeah,
do the math.
Yeah. I've been a Tottenham fan my whole life, born into it.
That's why you have so many gray hairs in your beard.
This pain, this anguish, these eye bags. Tottenham fan.
I thought you were celebrating 420. Happy 420, guys!
Happy 420.
Whoa! Didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
How's Sergey? Is Sergey in bad spirits, or is he?
I saw him yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to speak with him. But I mean, it can't be. It's never a good feeling when your team is no longer in control of their own destiny.
Without a doubt. But I just wonder if, like, because he's kind of been there before, if he's like, oh yeah, like I kind of like I always knew this was going to happen. Just
going through the motions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of crazy how it's frozen on me, lads. Going to move and see. All right. It's kind of crazy how like it keeps happening the same way, and the core of the team is the same. And I don't think those players could help but think about all the times before.
Yeah,
because it's not like it's the first time for everyone. This core of the team literally has gone through this year over year.
Yes, you are correct.
And I was also wondering, like, what happens if no trophies this year? Does Arteta get fired?
That's what people are saying. Is like that's the discussion. But I feel like it's. I mean, look, he's in the semifinal for the second year of the road of the Champions League. They'll have gotten second in the Premier League 4 seasons in a row, potentially. I mean, they could still win. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like they're still more likely to win it than they aren't. But I think the odds went from like 90% to down. Now it's like 60-40. You know what I mean? Which is a huge drop in like 2 games.
It's it's also kind of tricky because when you look at a manager, I think every manager has a limit where they could take up to. If maybe his potential is his peak is getting him so close to it, like he could take a crap team and bring him so close to it, like a Diego Simeone, who brings them so close but always comes up short.
But he doesn't always come up short though. He's won the La Liga. I mean, him winning La Liga twice and winning a few like Copas and stuff is amazing for where they are in La Liga. You know. In the ecosystem of La Liga.
We can't hear you, Enzo. Maybe you're muted. Diego Simeone has won, but I'm talking about like when you look at it overall, he's more coming up second. And I know it's coming like third in La Liga is essentially like coming up second. But maybe that was a bad example. But there are managers like that kind of get you to like right at the line, but you need someone else to kind of push them through.
Yeah. Enzo, you're on mute. Hey, you go. Now try to say something. There you
I
go.
was saying they're like the Liverpool of La Liga.
Yeah, but I think the difference is that they don't have that. Like they have severely less budget than in comparison to Barcelona, Real Madrid, and I mean, especially when Simeone started. Not now. I think they've kind of pulled a little. They've obviously like increased revenue, and everything, but comparatively, like Liverpool has had money,
So here are the odds on DraftKings Sportsbook for the EPL. Arsenal is plus 120. Man City is minus 155.
Yeah, see, I think that's just sounds about right. I mean, I think that there's a momentum thing, and I think in like sports commentary, it's really easy to like get swept up in momentum. But when you really like look at the games that they have left,
Man City got a tougher
if
run.
everything was in a vacuum, you'd say Arsenal. But like, I don't know how much you can equate for like the emotional element. Tito, that's what you're speaking to. Where like they've literally they've lost this over and over. Like it's not, they've not just fucked it up once; they fucked it up like multiple times. So that's where just psychologically, and then you wonder like, do they just need to get like who would you like a Luka Modric or something, like someone like that who's won a lot, who's older, isn't expected to play every single game, but just comes in and is like a leader, like a Thiago Silva at the time, like, you know what I mean, like in his era where he could just come in and like be a leader and not expect him to play every game. I think
like
that's
a
what
Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, I think that's what that team lacks, though, right? Like, and when you really think about it, like that's kind of what they lack.
They lack a superstar. They don't have a superstar.
I mean, Saka's supposed to be the superstar, right?
Yes, you don't have a superstar.
Yeah,
but they they don't. So I'm just saying.
I don't think the superstar's the problem. I think it's the veteran leader.
Ironically, I think that's what Real Madrid are missing right now as well.
Really?
Yeah. So on the Champions League, before the previous round, Arsenal were the favorites. Now they're Munich's the favorite, and they're playing PSG, obviously much tougher. So Arsenal's second at plus 225.
I think it's also really easy to forget how good Arsenal looked at the beginning of the season. Like Arsenal crushed Bayern in the group stage. Like absolutely outplayed them, played them off the pitch, and so like something's going on there. But these things are like ebbs and flows, and there's still enough time for them to reverse. So like, it's fun to the banter and it's fun to give Sergei shit and everything, but like at the end of the day, I'm probably still leaning towards Arsenal.
Well, like Bayern Munich had the same sort of thing PSG did last year, where PSG was like horrible at the beginning
to start the season.
Yeah, and then they just got better and better. So, but yeah, we'll see, man.
It's definitely exciting, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely exciting. Good luck. I feel for Sergei, I really do. Like his every week, sending notes on all our teams of their reactions to their games has been, quite motivational.
Yeah, I feel like there's a level of like karmatic justice going on from that type of those types of shenanigans. But I was also waiting for one of you guys to do the Arsenal fan reaction video and send it into the group chat. No one did, and I was a little disappointed that no one was willing to stoop as low as I thought that you would.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple times.
I was upset I forgot to send the reverse Gyökeres meme.
Yeah.
I did send a few nice comments. 248 days on top of the league is the longest ever.
So it's like those underhanded nice comments.
So after the Real Madrid were eliminated from Champions League, I went to his house like the same day or the day after. We're watching something on TV. He kept going on his phone and like casting on through Apple whatever play Real Madrid Munich highlights. So guess what's gonna happen when I go to the living room? What highlights we're gonna watch?
Oh, I'm sure.
Please. Sure. Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, should we get into the actual episode? We're just hamming it up for 15 minutes.
This one should be easy, man. Let's zoom through it.
Yeah. Just a reminder to plug the socials, Keith.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 132 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tico and Enzo. My name is Keith, and you should follow us at Draft Offsides. You should go to our website, www.draftoffsides.com, where you can check out our new heat tracker tool, where you can check out a player's heat and consistency as far as pretty much like it's like a form tool to help you figure out who's on form and who's like coming into form and coming out of form. So we're checking
That sounded really great, but only on episode 131.
131. Yeah, 131.
Hey, should we add like a bio section to our website and just take pictures? I could take a picture with my mustache and then like I once scored a banger goal, header, keep goal.
You want your mustache to live on in some way. Like if it's like, you know, if it's not going to be on your ID, it needs to exist somewhere forever.
This isn't the place.
On my previous site,
it might be the place. I mean, if all the places, I'd rather Tico do it here than do it to his girlfriend's dad when he meets her for the first time, like he was telling us he might, or on his ID.
Your dad's already listened to the podcast and probably seen the YouTube, so he's going to see it.
The girlfriend's dad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe.
I could do this.
Oh, I don't like that. I really don't like when you do that. That makes me feel weird.
You do look like a pervy Frenchman.
Someone called me Luigi today at work.
Oh, that was it. Did I get a good laugh out of you, or did it sting a little?
Or a little bit of both? No, not surprising. I'm the one who, the bully at work too, I guess.
So is that a little taste of your own medicine? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, let's focus up here, guys. News and notes. I think obviously the biggest thing, City beating Arsenal, pretty emotionally draining for any Arsenal fans. Pretty hilarious for everyone else. I don't know how else to put it. And so I think the biggest thing with this is that now the title's out of Arsenal's hands, in the sense that if City win out and Arsenal win out, City will win the league, essentially.
Well, goal differential.
And they're playing Burnley this Wednesday, so I'm expecting them to pack it on. You know what I mean?
You think a Haaland hat trick incoming?
Have you guys seen that one meme where like a guy's like licking his fingers in front of the microwave and there's food in there? No,
no.
That's going to be Haaland like in Burnley.
Yeah. As far as fantasy impact, it feels like City is surging like they always do at the end of the season. It's happening right now, right?
And Arsenal's doing the same thing they do at the end of the season.
Yeah. I think, Enzo, to your point, that a few weeks ago when you pulled up those stats of like, how many games Arsenal win at the end of the season versus it's like, that was pretty prescient of you. Like you were you like kind of you were kind of implying that this was a very possible thing.
That it was very possible it could happen, and it's happening. And it's honestly, I don't think, like, don't get me wrong, they're going to make excuses like Saka is injured and blah, blah, blah. I couldn't believe they didn't start Gyökeres. Like, it shows you they didn't really want to win the game, in my opinion, because Kai Havertz shouldn't have been there. I know he scored. I think Gyökeres should have started. I think
Gyökeres, I think we've talked about this, but Gyökeres is probably better against bad teams, where Kai Havertz is probably better against good teams. And so, and obviously that's really simplified, but I actually feel like that Kai Havertz makes more sense against the City than Gyökeres does. But I mean, who's to say? I mean, City not playing next week because they're in a double game week this week. But just noteworthy that Kusanov, who's on waivers last week, had a pretty monster game. I think it was like a 17-pointer. So obviously, you're not gonna be able to pick him up off waivers next week, but worth just keeping a note on him coming out of like a double game week.
It'd be a nice pickup if you got space and you got enough players to put on the field.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be the tricky part.
Yep.
Spurs draw, but get saved by Palace draw with hammers. There's still hope. Yeah, I think I was starting to feel like if West Ham won today, because we're recording on Monday. If West Ham won today, it was feeling pretty bleak. But now there's
4 points.
Now there's a little sliver of hope.
I think there's a little light in the tunnel.
I think go ahead, Chico.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's probably Tottenham's most important game for the year.
I think that I think we were obviously like bearing the lead here a little bit with the fact that Spurs were up. Xavi Simons had a great game. And then just to concede at the end like that was pretty devastating though. That was one of the most, even as someone who's not a Tottenham fan, I actually felt pretty.
I literally
for you guys.
watching the game with my father-in-law, and literally as soon as I saw Danzo touch the ball and I saw him not clear it out, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And fucking boom, goal. Fucking easy. Too easy. Bad defense.
Yep. But I think it's interesting to note just the fact that from fantasy standpoint, Spurs players, there's some scores.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Am I right?
First time to see 2 Spurs players in the top 20, let alone 1.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys saw, the Zerbi came out with quotes saying he feels a special connection with Simmons.
I love that. I love to hear that. Yeah, I mean, Simmons had 21 points. Pedro Porro had 23. Bergvall, Gallagher both had 9, 9.5. All very reasonable. Yeah, that social connection thing says to me that hopefully he'll be getting some starts.
Yeah, because that was his first start in 6 games.
Yeah, and he played well enough to deserve a start in the next game too.
I believe so.
I mean, yeah, even without the goal, I thought he was looking pretty lively. He was getting fouled a lot. They were taking him down every chance they could. So, which is good. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Brighton had some good performance. Mintis seems like he's back.
Yeah, Mintis looked good.
After that monster game did not do much.
No. What did Hinshelwood?
No. But the double game week might save some of their scores for this week, which will be interesting to see.
Matoma owners will be mad as hell because they probably took him off. But if you were like, Chris in one of our leagues who obviously slept through his alarm, kept Matoma on, and he scored a goal.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing these rumors that Verbruggen is being linked to big teams? The goalie?
No.
Yeah.
I have heard about. Have you heard about Senesi coming to Tottenham from Bournemouth? As long as they stay up.
If they stay up, I heard that. No.
And Robertson too, which I don't understand.
Yeah, we'll see there. Moving on, Wolves officially relegated.
Yep.
Do you think that players will still play hard because they're trying out for new? Essentially, they're trying out for new jobs. I mean, they kind of happen. I don't think it's going to change that much.
Because they're playing. You got to think some of those players are playing for new contracts and new teams. This is basically their interview. So like they've been doing it all season. So now like the Hugo Buenos, the João Gomez's, the what's his name, Mane,
yeah,
all those Akaderi, they're all going to be fighting for someone to pick them up, whether it be a newly promoted team like Coventry, or or Wrexham maybe. You never know.
It's interesting the Hugo Bueno call up because he's been in his last 4 has scored an 8 and 3 like ones. So he's he went from being like a monster to suddenly, I don't know if something's changed or if maybe he's kind of taking his foot off the gas a little bit, knowing that there's not much to play for. But yeah, so that's one where it's not great. But yeah, there's not much. I mean, there's not much in the way of points. No one scored over 10 points in their game this week.
Nope.
I mean, they did lose 3-0, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah. And you think, okay, next one, Watkins, 7 goals in his last 9 games. I'm assuming that's between Champions League, what is it, Europa League and Premier League and everything. So he's kind of scoring well. Villa fighting for a Champions League spot. Yeah, I mean, you're asking if there's a trade for Watkins on the table. We've always kind of wondered that with Emery because it doesn't seem like Emery's ever really trusted him, even when he was doing great. But it'll be interesting. I wonder if this is enough. I wonder if this form is enough to get Watkins on the plane for
England? I don't think so.
You think he's out of the picture?
Yeah, I think Tuchel's already fucking chose this guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kane and Bayern win title 4 games to go. Not that important, but just something to note. Yeah, good for them. Beto, potential head injury.
Yeah, he came off at the end of the game.
I missed that.
The 70th minute or something, and looks to Barry to play instead, I think. But he's been playing well since he's getting started in the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, he's scored, 3 double-digit games in a row, 35.5, 12.5, 18.5. He is, I mean, I think if we go to the 3-game week tracker on the Heat tracker, Heat score ranked number 2nd. He's elite. Yeah, he's the number 2 highest scoring player, right behind Konstantin Mavropanos, who has continued to just be a monster.
He went off today too for that clean sheet. He got 19 points today.
19.25, and he's still only 30%, 7% rostered, which is crazy. Yeah, so I think look to play Barry or maybe just look elsewhere too, because I don't think Barry's been super great. And
yeah.
Cunha came off with a groin injury, but should be fit for Brentford. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
He managed to get a goal. It's so funny because there was a period of time where Mbeumo was the one that was scoring well, and Cunha was pretty absent, and now it's totally flipped. And Mbeumo can't score points to save his life, and Cunha seems like he's been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So interesting. I think Mbeumo fading at this time. It's really tough though too, because if you're Mbeumo owner, you're not going to bench him, right? You can't really afford to bench him.
You can't.
So it's a really tricky situation. Maybe you got to get brave and just do it. I think you're getting close to the point where you can't really afford to play him either.
But And also, if you think about it, like the previous years, Cunha was the player that had more ways of getting points than Mbeumo.
Yeah. So you're
So-
saying that you feel like this was inevitable, that this was going to be the situation?
Yeah, I thought it was going to take longer for Cunha to like get adapted in Man U because Bruno Fernandes is going to have so much of the ball, so he has to learn to play with Bruno. But like even last year with the Wolves, with the goals, assists, dribbles, passes, like Cunha would get a shitload of ghost points.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Cunha used to get all those points even when Neto was on Wolves.
No, but that's what I mean. You can't compare Neto to.
I'm not comparing it, but I'm saying that two players that like have the ball a lot. But like, and I feel like Mbeumo, he did really well in Brentford for points also. He was one of those ones that everything went through him.
But would he get a lot of ghost points?
No.
He wasn't as great on the ghost ones, so he was scoring enough to make it worth it. But he's not. He's just not doing that. It's interesting though. I feel like he was fine. He was serviceable when he was playing striker under Carrick because I think the goals were in there. But now that he's playing out wide on the right, I don't like they haven't really been able to unlock him the way that like when he played out right on the right for Thomas Frank under Brentford, he was doing things that were generating enough points. But now it's just not hitting the same.
Diallo has also been struggling for a while too. The last time he had a double-digit game was in February 7 against Tottenham.
Yeah, it feels like that's that right side. They're just really struggling to generate much on the right side, no matter who's in there. But yeah, it's a little alarming. Anything else? Top English scorers in the Prem this week. Morgan Gibbs-White. Right? Is that what you're saying here?
No, top goal scorer. So remember how I used to always be Kane. Morgan Gibbs-White, 12 goals. Welbeck, 12 goals. I think it's Ollie Watkins got 11. Rodgers got 9 or something. Like English players, not very. I just put it in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What? How's that relevant?
I just want to put it in there. It's just an interesting point.
He's starting to think World Cup.
Welbeck, career high in goals scored.
Is it?
Yeah.
For Brian.
Yes. Daniel. No.
No, ever.
In his like
in
EPL career.
He's never been a big goal scorer, yeah.
Really?
Last year he broke his record from last year, which was 10. This year he has 12.
He's like a fine wine. That's why I was really surprised that he went to the England camp ahead of or he didn't go instead. Like I'm surprised that Dominic Calvert-Lewin went and not Welbeck, because I thought Welbeck was a much better player and like much more well-rounded.
DCL has been scoring goals, but most of them been penalties, and he ain't going to get that in the England team.
Yeah, exactly. I just think if I was to throw on a guy that I think could like make something happen, I feel like Welbeck's more likely to make something happen than DCL.
Would you do Welbeck over Watkins if you had the choice?
No. I mean, probably not. But if I was told Thomas Tuchel decided he didn't want to take Watkins and he was deciding between Welbeck and DCL, I'd take Welbeck.
You go Welbeck.
Yeah.
So would you guys agree that Watkins and Kane play somewhat similarly?
Except for Kane is 100 times better.
Yeah. But like the style, like coming back, Welbeck's different. So I would take Welbeck just to kind of take him out, put in a different change of pace.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I think the other argument is that if you bring both Watkins and Kane goes down, they don't have to change that much.
Yeah,
Watkins
the style of play.
So I see both sides. Okay, should we do waivers next? Talk through.
Yeah.
All right, it is a short week, so be careful because there's 3 more games in this game week. Everything's locked for game week 33, but there are 3 more games. So just be careful with pickups, that you're not picking up guys that are on teams that aren't playing. Those teams are Brighton, Chelsea, Man City, Leeds, Bournemouth, Burnley. Yeah. So that's a lot of teams. It's going to be, I think last week was a bloodbath in the sense that everyone was chopping and changing to like beef up their teams. This week's going to be a bloodbath because there's going to be so few names and so many players to drop.
Shout out to Nate for getting all those Leeds players.
So is it basically the players you have for next week, it's locked, you can't drop them?
No,
you can drop those players for next week.
You can't add more players. No, but yeah, so you can just, because tomorrow there are some games, right?
Yeah, but you can
there's a game tomorrow. Yeah.
But the waiver wire for next week doesn't start until it's tomorrow, right? But so say you were to pick up those players, no, it can't be. You're right. So the waiver wire must be wait.
Yeah, because it's. Hold up, let's figure this out. So if I were
to tell you on there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not sure you probably. I probably sent Keith a couple of trades. I don't think did I send you a trade, Tico? I was trying to trade away at least one player from my team that had a double game week this week to try get a player that was going to play this week.
You did it though successfully, right?
Nope.
I did it with
Cucurella.
Kyle.
You trade
Yeah,
Cucurella.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Claim will be effective game week 34 from Friday, April 24th to Thursday, April 30th.
So that's when it will happen. So you can pick up players and drop them on the Friday.
Yeah, just
and then
before
they'll
the
be able-
game, the 34 game week starts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's tricky. Okay, so getting into it. First one on here is Osula from Newcastle, 12% owned. He's had a goal in each of his last 2 games. He's finally getting starts, which he hasn't really all season. He's kind of been off the bench.
Mhm.
I think at the very least worth keeping an eye on, even for draft next year, just depending on what they do. But it's clearly the run-in is that like what Newcastle's lost like 8 of their last 12, and they were just trying something new. And Osula seems to be, making something happen. So worth keeping an eye on. I don't know how's their schedule the rest of the season. Though, I guess
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Strikers is such a tricky position. So if you
They
can
play
get it out, that's
Arsenal
kind of on a
next.
good run of form. Yeah.
They play
That's
Arsenal next, and they're collapsing. So it might be the time.
Oof. But Newcastle isn't great either. So they play Arsenal, Brighton, Forest, West Ham, Fulham. Yeah. Interesting. The next one on here is actually one. What did you say?
I was going to say, and Gordon had that hip flexor, so he definitely might get more game time.
Yeah, Gordon. Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if Gordon doesn't play again this season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Yeah. I just think that they're getting to a stage where they're going to lock down players because they don't really need to win or lose. It's like the season's kind of over for Newcastle.
For Newcastle, yeah, they're not going to get relegated. They ain't getting no Europe,
Yeah.
so.
Especially if they are, which the rumors are saying that they're potentially thinking about selling Gordon. Like, there's no reason to get him back out there.
Real Madrid?
Liverpool, I heard. So we'll see. Okay, another a name on here that actually the only reason I even thought of him or saw him was because of the heat tracker, 3-game week heat tracker, is Timothy Castagna from Fulham. He's an old guy, but he still has it. He's had 3 solid games in a row. I think all double digits are pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not a name that I would like look at twice, But when you see that he's had a 14, 7, 5, 13, and then a 12 in his last 3, he's only 4% rostered. I think it's noteworthy. It's noteworthy enough to pay attention to.
On a short game week, who are Fulham playing?
They're playing Villa, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Wolves, and Newcastle.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of just the short game week. So they play.
Yeah, I mean short game week, but even
against
long,
Villa, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, but I mean, who did they play in the 3 games before?
Liverpool, Burnley, Forest, Southampton.
Okay,
West Ham.
no.
But the Liverpool score. But yeah,
Liverpool score. Very nice.
Yeah. But okay, but anyways, yeah. So I think that's one, and that's like a perfect example of why I like the heat tracker, because it's like a name like that pops up, and you're like, oh wow, like I would literally just scroll past this guy because in my mind he's like old and not good, but then you're like, oh wow, he's on a really good run of form right now, so worth thinking about. And I think the other thing to note is in that run, there were some games where he had clean sheets and some games that he didn't. So he was doing it with ghost points and without. So. Okay, next one on the list is Ayo Tanaka from Leeds. So whenever Stash is out, Stash is like the stud there, but whenever he's injured, there's always one guy that seems to pick up his points. And right now it's Ayo Tanaka. He's been taking a lot of the set pieces. And so
he looks good.
If you can snag him. He's what? He
looks good. Party artist.
I agree. I think he's looked nice. And he's like his service has been good and it's definitely like a rental until Stash comes back, if Stash comes back.
If he comes back, yeah.
But I think Leeds are like 1 win away from pretty much being like safe. So, so in which case, then I wouldn't be shocked if they don't rush Stash back. Yeah, I think they obviously want their best players, but if they can be safe, there's no point to rush him back. But yeah, so Ayo Tanaka short-term rental, but it seems like worth it. I think he's had 2 double-digit games in a row. So pretty much since Stash has been out and since he's been taking set pieces. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, next one, Matthijs Jensen. He was on your last waivers too. I don't want to like repeat too much, but he's just been really consistent. And now that consistency of like 7s and 8s, the last 2 games have been double digit. So worth noting, worth probably playing. I don't know what the rest of the schedule is like. Tico, can you pull it up really quick?
Yeah. So rest of schedule, they play United, West Ham, City, Palace, Liverpool. So not a friendly schedule.
I mean, I'm not that. We're nervous about United at this point.
Or
Like,
West Ham.
Ham's good.
And
No,
he's a
City's
midfielder.
obviously not good, but
And he's a
Palace you're
midfielder.
happy with. Yeah, so
And
he'll
he's a
get points.
midfielder. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get points on both. And he's like a true midfielder where he gets tackles and assists. Tackles and clearances.
Interceptions.
He's getting points on both sides. So
Yeah.
I'm not as he's busy. Is what I'm saying. He's not like a winger that plays. It's classified as a midfielder. All right, next one, Jaden Bogle, 55% owned Leeds. Clean sheets masked the last performance a bit. I think he had around 10 points, but with the clean sheet, it really wasn't that great. But 3 solid in a row, you got to just respect. Only issue is the double game week absence. So I didn't include most people, but I just wanted to give him a shout. I think there's a few other ones. We talked about Kusanov, and there's a few other double game week guys, but like unless you have the room for it, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Next on here, Lewis Potter from Brentford, 23% owned. He's looked really good. I think he was one of the best players for Brentford in the last game. I thought he looked really, really strong. He's had a few really good games in a row. We're talking double-digit games. Yeah. And he's still only 23% owned. And I think it's because he's been kind of up and down and pretty lukewarm for a few years now, but he's also been super young. He's like a very young player. So I think if he started to grow into his own now, it might be a good time to snag him and see what happens. Any thoughts there?
No, he got 9.25 the last game. He's been pretty solid. Again, a lot of key passes, clearances. So he's doing on both sides.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that plays he kind of plays out of position. So if he plays as a defender, he's classified as a mid, I'm fairly certain. So it's just an interesting thing, but it's fine. It's that's proven that's very okay. Next on here is Sven Botman, 31%, Newcastle. I thought his face exploded and he was done for the season, but it turns out that I was wrong, and he is he's fine. And he played and he scored a solid 8.5. So
well, to be fair,
worth adding. I mean, he should be added if you can, right? If you have space and you need a defender.
To defend you, Keith, it looks like 70% of other people dropped him also before trying to pick him back up. So everyone thought he was done for the rest of the season.
I'm fairly certain that on fantrax it said he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe. Yeah, I think fantrax fucked us all.
Do better, fantrax. For fuck's sake.
No, we love fantrax. We're trying to get sponsored.
Oh yeah, trying to get sponsored.
Hey, sorry.
We have
sorry. We have a couple of ends.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, he's worth rostering.
Yeah.
If he's available. Last one, Igor Jesus, Marcel de Cruz, Igor Jesus for short. He's a forward. I think he's had 2 goals in his last 2 games. Am I right there? Or maybe there's a gap of 1 in between where he did. But just he's a little bit hot, and it's kind of one of those things where if you think they're going to stay up, then he's kind of worth rostering. I think especially as forwards are pretty light. Yeah. And what do you guys think? 35% owned. Would you guys have him on your team?
I have him on my team.
Well, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I drafted him last year when he didn't play. But their schedule's kind of friendly of finishing the year. It's Sunderland,
Burnley,
Chelsea, Villa, Castle, and United. And United and Bournemouth.
Yeah, that seems pretty doable.
Yeah.
Pretty doable. Yeah, so that's waivers for the week. Just be really careful with the double game week, guys. It's really easy to accidentally pick up the wrong one. Should we just talk through some just big stuff? Holy hell, Morgan Gibbs White finally showed up, huh?
Yeah.
He's been hot the last few weeks. Did you see his goals too? They're all pretty good.
They're all pretty good. But I said that don't get me wrong, he scored 12 goals this season, which is actually really good for a midfielder in my opinion. But it was so spread out, and it's not enough of everything else that usually does. So
yeah, I think as a fantasy asset, he's been underwhelming for the last few years. And I think if anything, what this does is makes people remember how good he was at the end of the season, and then they'll probably paper over the fact that he was pretty inconsistent.
Didn't he do this last season too, and the season before that, where he had a pretty whatever season, at the end of it, he showed up out of nowhere?
I don't remember. Maybe. I think there's 1 or 2 years where he really impressed, and then he started getting drafted really high, and then since then he hasn't really impressed. But like, okay, in one of our leagues, in our 10-man league, he was picked round 3, pick 10, which is I don't know.
To be fair, some people thought he was going to be a Tottenham player at the time.
That is true. So that would, yeah, might have been the best thing that ever happened to him to not do that.
What do you mean? He could have pulled us out of this.
He could have pulled you out, I guess. You're right.
Forest Forest is in the end of relegation. Tottenham is. Same thing for Eze. We could be winning. We could come second this year if it wasn't for Eze.
Yeah.
He came to us.
I think Eze, man. Do you think he regrets going to Arsenal? Probably not. I think if they don't win the title, maybe. But if they win the title, it's worth it.
No, I don't think he regrets it. Coming second and playing Champions League, I don't think he regrets it.
Okay, but what was he going to play for at Palace?
That's what I'm saying. Like he wouldn't.
He's going to play every game. That's for sure.
He was going to play every game
half the time.
But you got to think about it. Look at all the players that we feel flopped this year. Like Madueke, Eze, Watts has been playing better, but he was a flop at the beginning of the season. Simmons. Who else? There's so many.
Garnacho.
Garnacho. Voldemort. Yeah.
Wissa.
Isak.
Injury more, but yeah.
Yeah,
it's been rough. It's been a rough season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, is there anything else we really want to talk about? We kind of spoke about a lot of these guys. We talked about Watkins. Okafor has been surprisingly good, and he's. I mean, what's his own percentage? 58%.
Yeah, 58.
James Justin, was that a bicycle kick he scored? Did you guys see that for Leeds?
No, I didn't see it.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive from Justin. Pedro Porro now has had a few good games on the bounce. If Tottenham manage a great escape and stay up, Pedro Porro, I think, will
He's
be
gonna
a
have a
pretty
hand
good
in
asset next year under De Zerbi.
Can we talk a little about Nico O'Reilly?
Oh,
I can't think of Nico O'Reilly without thinking of that Beatles song, like Donna O'Reilly. Well, you know what I'm talking
I can't think of Nico O'Reilly now without thinking of that nutmeg.
Oh my God! On the byline, just hanging out on the byline, bro.
Yeah,
two defenders.
He's been playing well. The second half of the season, he's been phenomenal. I've watched a lot of Man City games. He's been phenomenal.
Is Atnori done?
Yeah, I think I might be dropping Atnori. I think that Nico O'Reilly is way too hot. I think there was a period of time where Nico O'Reilly was playing in the midfield and Atnori was getting starts, and that's I think the only conceivable way that he would play games.
Can he, if Rodri is hurt, can he play Rodri's position?
That might be the call, Tico. Is that might be the
for Nico O'Reilly play the Rodri position?
Yeah,
that's where he playing in the center of midfield, because that's where there was a few games earlier in the season where he did play in the center of midfield, and that's where yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a good or a bad idea. I'm just saying that's the only conceivable way I see Atnori getting
confidence could work wonders. If Nico O'Reilly playing there with confidence now, he could do whatever. Man, I also have my.
Oh my God! I can't believe you're waiting like 45 minutes in to show us that you have that shirt on.
I freaking love that, man. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Did you buy that separately? Does it just come with every Man City jersey? It's just it's added. It's actually attached. The Why Always Me Mario Balotelli, man, that's a throwback. Yeah, that's like a 10-year-old throwback. Yeah. I love that. Okay, but is anything else?
Just I was looking up a stat while we were talking about Arsenal bottling the league again. So, courtesy of ChatGPT, I wanted to see what the last 5 games or so, last 10 games of the results were for the Arsenal and Man City from the last 5 years. So, from 2021, 2022, all the way to now. So, their records in the last 10 games of the season is Manchester City, 31 wins, 8 draws, and 1 loss. Arsenal, 24 wins, 6 draws, 10 losses. Okay. Granted, one of the losses came the 21-22, 5 of those losses. But it seems like they don't close out the year strong in the last 4 years, which we already knew. So we talked about the trend, how things go. So this is, I don't know. Even though I feel like Arsenal has the easier schedule, I'm favoring Man City.
You got to remember, Arsenal's in Champions League also, so they're playing Atletico. So say they do go through, and then they've got to play. Who do they play after that?
I mean, Bayern or PSG in the final. But if they go through, they go through. I mean, there's 2 more games than the finals after the season. I think it's more like I think it's more a question of like if they lose, it's
Bro.
almost if they lose, it's
They're playing-
worse. If they lose, it was just psychologically. Because if they win, it's almost like this pressure's off, like we made it to the Champions League final. And there's a pressure off. Or if they
let me
lose,
just
it's
say
like
one
we
thing.
failed again. You know.
But they're playing
Yeah.
3 London derbies out of the last 4 of their games. They're playing Fulham, who historically do pretty well against freaking Arsenal. They're going to play West Ham, who are going to be fighting for their lives. And they're going to play Burnley. They'll win that one. But then they got to play Palace, too, who it's a derby.
I think they drop points against Newcastle.
Next week. You think this week, as early as this week, they drop points?
I think they
So
drop points.
do you think it's just like crumble? You think it's just it's a mental?
I think there's no way it's not a mental aspect of it now, but I think it would be kind of funny if both of them win out their games and it comes down to who scored more goals against Burnley.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think they're going to drop points against Fulham. That's who I think they're going to drop points against. So, as soon as Manchester City goes back on top, I'd say they don't relinquish that position.
It's tough. Okay, Enzo, question for you. This next game week that's coming up, short week, not a ton of games.
Yeah.
Wolves, Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I mean, I feel like I feel you have to feel encouraged, even though that was obviously devastating.
Yeah.
I feel you have to feel fairly encouraged by that, and I feel like if as someone who's like scrambling for players, like I'm picking up Tottenham players.
Yeah, me too.
I think like I was really encouraged by that and what I saw from them to think that they can A, win this game and B, score some points against a Wolves team that just found out that they're relegated and doesn't have much to play for.
I'm picking up Tottenham players if I can. And it's not because I'm a Tottenham fan, just because, again, like you said, what I saw from that last game, and it's against Wolves. And it's a short game week.
How confident are you that they will win against the Wolves?
I'm not confident at all.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like a 6, wavering.
Oh, look at this cocky guy. How about but you'll get a point.
But we don't need a point. We need to win.
We need every point.
We need a win. Like Tottenham needs to win. Like Zerbi said, he sees us winning our next 5 games, our last 5 games. I don't see us.
This has the potential to be for you guys to win the first game of 2026 and the only game of 2026
Wow.
Well, for the year, you'll win.
This is me. That's why me and you are friends.
It's a difficult schedule. Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, Everton.
Wolves, Wolves, and then all those games.
Yeah, after Wolves,
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough time. Tough time to be a Tottenham fan. Anything else? We want to talk about some of the games next week. We talked about that game. I kind of feels like that Arsenal Newcastle game we chatted about, that there's something meaningful there. Other than that, we're just getting to that point in the season where, meaningful things are the fantasy elements. Man United, Brentford is kind of interesting because I think Brentford is not that far away from Champions League spots. Am I wrong? Brentford is in 7th right now on 48. Liverpool's at 55, so there is a gap.
No, I think Champions.
But now we're talking like
Champions League
Europa League spots.
Yeah, Europa is the one you got to look at.
I think it's
1 through 5 is set. I don't think that's going to change. That's changing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty settled. I agree with that.
But Europa is what's there to fight for. And that goes all the way up to
Europa
to 12th.
Conference
so Fulham still fight for Europe, and they're in 12th.
They're in 12th. Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, I think Leeds is probably 1 win away from being safe, and I think Forest. Yeah, I mean, it's really good looking like it's coming down to West Ham Tottenham. At the end of the day,
Leeds needs 2 points to be out of it.
You think 2 points? That's it?
No, I'm looking at it. Yeah, they just need 2 points. To no tiebreaker, nothing. They're secured if they get 2 points.
No, because Tottenham could win 5 games. If Tottenham get 2 points, 5 games, they can score 15 points.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But I think realistically, that's pretty realistic.
All right. Enzo's gone. I think that's a sign.
I think that's a sign. This has been episode 131 of Dropped Offsides. I'm with Tico and Enzo. My name is Keith. I guess I'm just with Tico. Enzo left. Enzo got booted. Follow us at Dropped Offsides. Go to www.droppedoffsides and use our heat tracker tool that we just built. And it's fun, and give us some feedback, leave some comments on the YouTube videos and stuff, and tell us how helpful the tool is or what can be better about it. All right, see you guys next week.
Keith, how did you not say Enzo got relegated?
Enzo got relegated? What do you mean?
Instead
he
of
got
saying
relegated. Oh, too
instead
easy.
of Buddha, yeah.
Too easy. You're right.
All right.
That was a missed opportunity. All right, later.
See you, Keith.